Hello everyone, Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales. What I thought I would bring to you today, I've been busy making some of my customer appreciation cards. For anybody that orders through my online store, I send them out a personalised thank you card for purchasing through my online store. So what I thought I would do is I would show you the process of what I do when I'm making my customer appreciation cards. And I thought I'd use a set out of our new catalogue, which is called the Coffee Cafe Bundle. So I'm using this stamp set today, and I'm also using the framelits as well, and I'm using an embossing folder from our holiday catalogue. But I just wanted to show you the process that I go through. So I'm going to make 10 quick cards today. I've done a lot of the work ahead of time, but I'll show you step by step as I go how I actually put these cards together. So I hope you enjoy this video tutorial today. Now today's tutorial I'll be using, as I said, the Coffee Cafe stamp set. I'll also be using the framelits. I'll be using our Crumb Cake ink pad, our lovely Berry Burst ink pad from our new In Colours, and our Powder Pink ink pad from our In Colours as well. Now, what I've done, I've gone ahead of time and I've actually prepped everything as much as I possibly can, but I will show you step by step the stamping process, everything that I go through to make these cards. So first of all, I'm just going to pop all that out of the way. First of all, I start with my card bases, okay? So I've got 10 Whisper White card bases here, all cut at 5 3/4 of an inch by 8 inches. So what I actually do is I take my card base and I just fold them all in half. So I line up the corners and just fold them, okay? You can use your bone folder, entirely up to you how you want to do it, but I find this the easiest way and the quickest way, especially when I'm going through making a lot of cards all at once. So I'm just going to fold my 10 card bases, and this is actually quite a cute card. When I was designing what I was going to do, I thought I had the Coffee Cafe bundle and I was like, oh, I want to do a thank you card using the Coffee Cafe bundle, because as we all know, a lot of people are coffee lovers these days. In our day and age, everybody searches to get that beautiful cup of coffee, so I thought it was very appropriate to do my appreciation cards using the Cafe bundle. Now anything that I use in this video tutorial today is available in my online store for purchase. So any of the stamp sets, any of the ink colours or framelits, they're all available in my online store. I will pop the link to my online store as well as the links to all the products that I use. So if there is a product in particular that you really like that I'm using today, if you go to the links down below in the YouTube video, you will find that all the links will be there and it will go directly straight to my shopping store. So there we have our 10 bases folded, ready to go. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to bring in some of our cardstock that we're going to stamp all of our images on. So what we need to do is we need to stamp our Thanks a Latte stamp. We need to stamp the lovely fluffy foam on top of our coffee mug. So I'm going to use my Crumb Cake. Now, first of all, I'm going to do the Thanks a Latte. So I've mounted my Thanks a Latte stamp up on my little tiny block. I have a strip of Whisper White cardstock. So I'm just going to ink up. I'm going to go along and I'm going to stamp 10 of these stamps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have another little piece here that I can stamp my 10th one on. Okay, so I have 10 of those all stamped, ready to go. Now the next stamp I'm going to bring in is the lovely creamy foam for the top of our coffee here. So I'm going to bring in some white scrap pieces of cardstock. This is what I use. And what I found with this one, you can cheat and get a few more by turning the stamp upside down and lining it up. You can get a few more stamped on your bit of cardstock. By rotating your stamp, you can get them in a bit closer. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 in the middle for good measure, 10. So I'm just going to pop that aside to cut out. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in, out of our stamp set, this lovely stamp here. Now, everybody that's coffee lovers, you know how you can get the takeaway cups that have that timber wood grainy sort of feel on the outside? So that's what this stamp is to incorporate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, I've done these in 2 different colors. So I'm going to bring in, first of all, my powder pink. So I've stamped 5 of my images in powder pink. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece here, like so. Now just take your time when you're stamping this stamp, because sometimes it gets a bit of an air bubble underneath. So that's 2. 3, 4, oops. Bring in another piece. 5, and then we're going to clean off our stamp. And we're going to then bring in our rich raspberry. And we'll stamp a few more in the rich raspberry. Sorry, berry burst I'm using, not rich raspberry. I don't know where I got rich raspberry from. Okay, so I'm going to ink up, stamp, bring in some more cardstock, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I have those all done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Big Shot machine. Also what I've done is I have a layer here for the front that I've actually embossed with the quilted, it's the embossing folder from the quilted Christmas set. So I'm going to show you embossing that sheet. So I'm just going to, now all these pieces are cut at 3.5 by 5 1/4. My black layered pieces are cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer them up on the front of our card like so. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in my embossing, my Big Shot now, and I'm going to emboss that one layer for you using the beautiful quilted embossing folder. Okay, Now, if you haven't used the embossing folders before, what actually happens is you'll find that there'll be an embossed side and a debossed side, and I'll show you when I bring it out after I've run it through the machine. But normally what happens is if you want your pattern to rise up out of your cardstock, you normally have the writing facing towards you, and that will make the impression rise up. If you wanted it to sink into the card like a deboss effect, you actually have it with the writing down. But either way, doesn't matter when you pop your card in. So they're as simple as popping your card in and lining it up in your embossing folder exactly where you want it. Now, the sandwich for your Big Shot machine is you will have your normal basic platform, and you will also have a thin die adapter. You take the thin die adapter away. If you're using the old Big Shot machine with the flip up platform, you flip that tab up and use it just on that single base. Pop one cutting pad in, pop your embossing folder with your cardstock in it, and another cutting pad over the top, and just wind it through. Okay. And what you will see is when it is embossed, it gives you a beautiful textured pattern when we pull it out of the folder. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you wanted the debossed, as I said, when you turn it over, you can see it's indented into the cardstock. This side is raised up out of the cardstock. So I'm going to use the raised up side this time with my card. Okay, so also what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our froth that we have for the top of our coffee, the cream, and we're going to pop the little framelit out of our framelit edge on. Sorry, change the platform. We're going to have, I'm using my magnetic platform this time. I use the magnetic platform when I have framelets that I've already pre-stamped because it's easier to line up your stamp, because the magnetics make it stay in place as you wind it through your Big Shot machine. Okay. And we also do that, as you can see, it's cut out my lovely perfect little shape. Okay. We also do that with our Thanks a Latte, but as I said, because I've done them all ahead of time to save time, I'm not going to go through that just on the video. You can see how you can pop your framelets on and cut around your stamped images. So I'll pop that out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is it's time to start assembling my cards. Now, when you're doing a production line like this, I find what I do is I go through step by step, layering up my layers, sticking everything together, and it makes life a lot easier. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to layer up my Berry Burst cardstock onto my basic black. Now my go-to glue is my liquid Tombow. I absolutely love the liquid Tombow, and the reason behind really using the liquid Tombow, get a better bottle of it, so I've got some more ink, some more glue coming out. The liquid Tombow gives you time to wiggle around and move it on your cardstock and get it all lined up perfectly. So hence the reason that I enjoy using the liquid Tombow. So I've cut the layers just to give you a nice little border all the way around. So I'm just going to, with my 10 layers, go through, pop some Tombow on, layer them all up, ready to go. Now, one of my big things that I say to people, please do not stick all your layers together until you have done all your stamping and you know everything is exactly how you want it, because there is nothing more frustrating than getting right to that last thing that you're going to do and you muck up the stamping and everything is adhered to your card, and that one final mistake has more or less ruined your project. There is always a way to cover up mistakes. I don't ever think anything is ever totally ruined, but sometimes we've had problems like that. And so my motto is always do all your stamping, all your inking, everything ready to go, get all your pieces ready, and then the last thing that you do is just assemble, which makes life a lot easier. Okay, so we've layered that one up. I've got a few more to go. I know everybody probably thinks this is time consuming doing so many cards at once, but I send out lots and lots of thank you cards. So I sit down every now and then and I try to send out something different each month. So what I do is I sit down, get myself organized, and I do a production line. I design a card and I make sometimes 50 of them. So if you're doing them in lots of 10, it makes it not so monotonous. So you can sit down, make 10. So as you'll see, by the end of this video, I'm going to have 10 beautiful cards ready to send out to my customers, thanking them for purchasing items off me through my online store. If you're new to watching this video and this is the first time that you have stumbled across me, I am Donna Gray and I am the owner and the creator of Stamping with DonnaG. Now, Stamping with DonnaG, I have my own website and I actually do online card classes. They are available to Australian residents only, but you're able to order my online classes if you live in Australia. Anywhere in Australia, you're able to order my online card classes. And it's a similar thing to this. What actually happens is you purchase the retail products that I have. So there's my 10 fronts ready to go. Okay, so you purchase the retail products and whatever I've got in the bundle that I'm doing the card class on, and I send out to you a free kit and a free video tutorial just like this one, showing you exactly how to make your cards. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now layer them up onto my Whisper White card base. So once again, liquid Tombow on the back, lining them up on the front of my card base. Tombow gives me that wiggle room to be able to do that. So we're just going to go through now and do the 10 cards like that. And it takes a little bit of time doing 10 at a time, but the beauty of it is when you're finished, you have 10 cards ready to send out to family and friends, to customers. If you run a business, a retail business, and people purchase off you, it's lovely to get a handmade card in the mail thanking them for their business, which I love to do for all of my customers, because if it wasn't for my customers, I wouldn't have a business. So I want to thank all my customers that purchase off me very, very much, because they help me do what I do. And if you're new to Stampin' Up and you haven't seen any of our products, Stampin' Up is a wonderful company that everything that they make, everything that they do, all of their inks, all of their card stocks are all of top quality, and they all combine very, very well. Their colors all combine really well. Everything matches. There's ink that matches the card stock. There's ribbon that matches the color of the card stock. There's embellishments that match the colors. There's absolutely everything that you can think of matches perfectly. There's no trying to match up different pinks and things like that, because everything goes together with Stampin' Up products. So they're absolutely wonderful products. If you haven't tried them, please feel free, if you wanted to, as I said, jump onto my online store and purchase anything that I'm using in this video. I'd be happy for your business. Now, we also have our annual catalogue. So for everybody that purchases off me, they receive an annual catalogue from me. Now, if you are one of my customers and you have purchased off me in the last couple of months and you haven't received a new catalogue, please, please, please let me know, and I'd be happy to pop one in the mail for you, so that you have one in your hands, because there's nothing better than searching through the catalogue and flipping through, sitting down with a cup of coffee and flipping through the catalogue. Okay, so that's all my card fronts done. So now it's just a case of I'm going to assemble my little coffee cups. So I've got 5 in the powder pink, and I've also got 5 in the berry burst. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to turn them all over. And as you can see, sometimes you do mistakes and you turn the cardstock over and restamp again. So always reuse your cardstock. Don't throw it away because you've made a mistake. You can always turn it over and use the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with our Stampin' Dimensionals, which I brought out there, our lovely Stamping Dimensionals, I'm just going to pop 2 dimensionals up on the lip of my coffee mug. If I can get them to come off the sheet, brand new sheet. Okay, once you get one off, it's great. Okay, so I'm just going to take my dimensionals and pop them all on the back of my mugs, but I want them popping up halfway off the coffee mug, and you will understand why when I show you the next thing that we do. So just 2 on each. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my creamy froth now along the top of my coffee mug, and it will stick to those dimensionals. So there was a reason for why I was doing what I was doing. So you just line it up and it will stick onto those dimensionals. So as you can see, this is definitely coming together quite quickly and quite easily, because we're not far from being finished. Okay, lining that up. Aren't they just so cute, these little coffee mugs? I just think they're just absolutely perfect. Especially for all those coffee lovers out there. Even if you wanted to send a friend a card because you haven't seen them for a while and you just wanted to send them a card and invite them for a cup of coffee, what a perfect way to send them a card with a coffee mug and froth. It just makes you in the mood for a cup of coffee, I think. And I've got one more to go. Lovely, cute little coffee mugs. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn them all over, and I'm going to pop a few more dimensionals on them because they're going to go on dimensionals on the front of the card. So I'll just pop them all over again. And I'm just going to throw one just on the base, I think will be enough. here I've missed. Okay, so I'm just going to pop them aside. Now I'm going to bring in my card bases again, because I'm going to stick a strip of our lovely silver glittery shimmer paper cardstock onto the front. Actually, I'm going to use my snail for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave my card bases up there. Bit of snail. I'm going to line it up 3/4 of the way down on my pink piece, like so. Three-quarters of the way down on the pink layer. So I have no idea whether I'm close to already, my 20 minutes is up, but I am nearly finished. So you can see how quickly that these cards are going together. And it's very easy when you get a production line to just get into that mode and get them happening. The snail just makes it quicker to pop it on. Now, some people say to me, what's the difference in adhesives and when do you use certain adhesives? Now, the difference being is the effect and the ease of using the adhesive is which one you choose. So in other words, this one here, I chose the snail because it was quicker and easier than popping the liquid glue on the back. Liquid glue, honestly, I use Tombow for just about everything I do. But there's times like this with snail that it makes it quick and easy just to pop them on. It's really just personal choice, what you like. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dimensionals all off the back of my coffee mugs. And I'm going to do that all in a production row so that then I can just pick up the coffee mugs and pop them on the front. If my dimensionals will be kind to me and let me take the backing off easily. We now have mini dimensionals as well, so for those tiny little intricate pieces of cut out cardstock that you want to pop up on your card and the dimensionals were too big, we now have the mini dimensionals, which they're fantastic. They make it easy when you've got something little, something tiny to pop up on the front of your card. Okay, nearly there. Got about 4 more to go. Then we'll start popping them up on the card and you'll start to see the card really taking shape. We have 1 more step after this and our card will be complete. So I'm not sure on the timing, but I'll check when I finish doing the video how long the video is in length. I may have to reorganize my title and maybe lengthen the time a little bit to get it to whatever time I've done these 10 cards in. But honestly, I've sat down, it hasn't taken me that long at all. And I know I did do a bit of the prep work beforehand, but that's what I tend to do. Okay, so now I'm ready to pop them up on my card. So I'm actually going to pop it sideways here on my card like so. Isn't that just super, super cute? So there you go, you can see the 2 different colours in them. I first of all did the berry burst and then I thought, oh, will I do one in the powder pink just for something different? So you can see the difference in the 2. I'm not sure which one I actually like the best. I like both of them actually. Quite cute. So as you can see, once you've done the hard part of taking the backing off your dimensionals and things, it's so much easier then to pop them on the card. So much easier and quicker. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on my little thanks a latte sign, and I'm actually going to pop it on with dimensionals as well, just so that it pops up off the front of the coffee mug, so so it stands out, so they can actually see I'm trying to get the message across to say thank you. So I'm just going to pop one on each. And our dimensionals, you get 3 sheets of dimensionals in one pack. They go a long way. I use all the edges of my dimensionals as well. A lot of people think that once they've used all the dimensionals out of the pack, these edge bits, I use all the edge bits. I use every single bit that there is. Okay, so thanks a latte. There you go. What a cute little card. I'm just going to pop the rest on all of those. Like so. So once, as I said, once you get yourself into like a production line, they all come together quite quickly. So I hope you've enjoyed my video tutorial today of making 10 cards in hopefully 20 minutes. I'm not sure. I'm hoping I've stayed within my time limit. But this coffee cafe set is a lovely bundle. So as I said, everything that I have used in my video today, you can find in my online store. So if there was anything that I've used that you're really interested in purchasing, please feel free to jump on to my link to my online store, which will be in the bottom of the YouTube video. So there you have it. We have 10 beautiful thank you appreciation cards, all made very quickly using our lovely in colors and our beautiful coffee cafe stamp set. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and you've been watching Donna Gray Stamping with Donna G. So I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial, and please feel free to subscribe to my video channel so you don't miss any more YouTube videos. And I also have a website. If you want to jump over to my website, it's www.stampingwithdonnag.com. Now on that website, you can access everything I do. You can access my online card classes. You can order my online card classes through my website. You can jump onto my online store. You can see my blog. You can see my videos. You can see a beautiful gallery of all the projects that I've done. So please feel free to jump over to www.stampingwithdonnag.com and check out my website and all the beautiful creations that I do. So once again, this is Stamping with Donna G, and I hope you all have a lovely day and have a lovely time crafting. Bye for now.